Hello, Leo, and welcome to your mid-March love reading. I'm Jade with Yes. Welcome back to the channel. We're going to do a love reading from mid-March to mid-April. I'm going to use the Line Strider Tarot and the Mystical Lenormand deck just to get the path between the masculine and feminine. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I use a couple different decks to kind of get the feel for what's going on. Everything's been pre-shuffled. So for Leo, for March 2019, let's see what's going on. And if any of this resonates, I'd love to hear from you in the comments section. Hit that thumbs up button. That helps the channel out so much. And if you're interested, private readings can be found. My website info is in the box below. All right, so I'm looking for the significator cards. So I'm just going to lay them out until one of them shows up. There's the feminine. And we have the ship, and the bear, and the rider, the fish, the book, the whip, the bouquet, the child, the key, the letter, and the oh my gosh, the cross. Losing track. And then, oh, I might need to move these because sometimes this one gets big. Bear with me, please. Just label them out. Okay, there's the cross. The tower, the scythe, the heart, and the clouds, the coffin, the snake, the clover, the park, and there is the masculine. All right, so for Leos, the feminine is moving towards the masculine, but we have quite a journey in between the two of you, okay? So what I'm going to do is go through this quickly. It looks like the middle of the road is just in this area, so this will be the meeting point, what will bring you two together, and then we'll clarify with the Line Strider deck. So feminines, you've been on a journey, and it might be a financially, you might have had like a new job or a new job opportunity or some type of new financial opportunity that has come forward towards you. It's brought some abundance, which is great, great news. And something that you might have been, some kind of new learning, maybe it was even a secret, but something came to fruition, something came out of the dark, and it's something that you've been kind of beating yourself up about, or maybe repeating. Okay, let me go back. So you've had some kind of financial abundance that came in. Actually, I'm going to say that you've been repeating going back to school even, or repeating some schoolwork or learning, because that's brought you actually more of a, more support, maybe more support from your family, from your children, or a new connection even, okay? And that could be this person, even though he's way down there. Now, the secret to this all is going to come from writing letters, okay? So it's going to be some type of written words, and those written words might start with family, or they might start with feeling a little heavy. And what I mean by that is perhaps there was some writing between you two, you and the masculine and feminine, or you might have been writing about something that had nothing to do with love whatsoever. So maybe you're talking about, like, maybe this is a work relationship and you're talking about different aspects of your job, right? And you're just, you know, these are just regular memos that are being sent back and forth. So there's some kind of connection that is very weighty, right? It's very heavy. That is what's bringing you two together, okay? And I feel like the feminine has gotten this new job, and she's been studying hard to get it. She's been working on it. Maybe she worked on even getting a promotion multiple times, and it finally came through, okay? So if that feels right for you, feminine, this is a good reading for you. Masculines, you've had some support in the community. There was a little bit of issue, maybe at work, maybe in your community, that has now changed. It was a little confusing, but it's now changed. It might even been an old love relationship, but I feel like what has happened is you've kind of removed yourself from the situation, didn't quite work out, whatever this love relationship was, and maybe the community didn't support it. Maybe it was someone in your community and you had to pull yourself out. You know, sometimes when you're in relationship and you break up, you don't always keep the friends. So I'm feeling like that might have happened for the masculine. And then at work, right? We were talking about this being possibly a work situation, is where you meet this feminine. Again, this can also be some type of, I mean, if you work, let me just say this. If you work in the funeral business, then that's the connection. It's kind of strange. Sometimes the Lenormand deck can be very literal because this is the cross. But what I'm feeling is that it's really, there's some kind of connection between you two that has to do with words, that it's not a love connection initially, it develops that way, okay? All right, so that's how we know. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull. Well, I'll keep those two laid out. These will be our connection cards. And everything else goes beneath. So what's happening this month for you, Leo, is the feminine is moving towards the masculine, okay? And the key is this communication. The secret is in this communication, is how you guys are going to move forward together. All right, so the line strider is going to clarify for us. Everything's been pre-shuffled, if I didn't say that. Leo, I'm looking for your baseline energy here together. Ooh, judgment. Okay, so we're looking at, and this could be part of that communication, that key to that communication. Let me make sure it's in there. So the judgment card is it's kind of a karmic card, right? It's about looking at the destiny of things. Have you been the best that you really, the best person that you really wanted to be? Are you living on purpose? Are you moving towards your destiny? Are you in alignment? Those are the kind of questions when I think of when the judgment card comes up, is that, you know, we're being faced, we have to face the truth of how we're living and if we're in line with that. And I feel like that's what's maybe what this communication is initiated between you two. Maybe this is, you know, about work, and that, you know, are you on the path that you wanted to be in work, and that this is a conversation that's being had. Maybe one person works for human resources in the company where the other person, you know, is having this conversation. That's very specific, but just putting it out there. All right, so we have 5 of Swords for the feminine. It did come out in the reverse. So this is a truce, right? It's putting the swords down and saying, okay, I'm going to stop fighting. I'm going to stop lashing out. I don't feel comfortable in this position. I don't feel like the fighting is done. I feel like I still kind of have to be guarded, but with the 5 of Swords being in reverse, it means that you are actually ready to not be guarded, okay? You're letting those guards down. You're feeling like you can move on from whatever that struggle was. And this is, swords are mental struggles and they're communicative struggles. So if this, again, if we're talking about a work situation, this could be that you were just struggling to be known, to be heard, to be looked at with authority. And I mean, we'll see if we're talking about work or a past relationship or whatnot. For the masculine, we've got the Death card. This is Scorpio, so transformation here. So the masculine's going through something deep, some kind of transformation, some kind of change that's happening for him. And we did talk about it was perhaps an old relationship that had ended, and that perhaps new relationships, or excuse me, new community connections had to be made because he had to leave his community. He didn't have that same friendships anymore. Okay. For the feminine, we're looking at the 6 of Cups here, and this is usually like nostalgic feelings, looking back. This could be childhood romance. It could be a reconciliation. So if these are 2 people, that was the you know, they took some distance apart. There was something that ended. This could mean that it's coming back together. Now, I don't like saying that because then I don't want to give everybody their, you know, putting their hopes up, because regardless, we always need to make sure that we are most in touch with what our personal needs are and not necessarily waiting for somebody to come back around. So that's, I want to put that out there, but I also don't want to hinge on that, right? The Six of Cups energy for the feminine here, she's tired of struggling and not having any type of letting the boundaries down, right? Letting herself be known. And I think it's even getting over past issues, right? Things that we have held onto, this baggage. That could be, you know, you're really looking back, reflecting. This is Mercury in retrograde time. It is time to reflect. So I feel like you're looking at old relationships, old baggage, that kind of stuff, and really deciding, is this on path with who I am? Is this a story that I really want to move forward with? So I think the feminine's really in a place of reflection, which is beautiful right now. For the masculine, we have the Queen of Wands. It did come out in the reverse. This is a beautifully balanced card. So I feel like right now the masculine is going through this transformation and not feeling balanced. He's not feeling balanced with taking action that is heart-centered, that is his full way of having the full power of who he is in knowing what he needs to do. And this is interesting because Leo masculines, you don't tend to question yourselves very often. And so I feel like, again, it's probably a Mercury retrograde time. You're questioning yourself and if you're able to make the best choice moving forward, okay? Just because of whatever this change, it could be this relationship that ended or had to transform from the past. Okay, now we have the Ace of Wands for the feminine. So this is a new creative start, a new action moving forward. So I think that, let's go back. If this is a relationship that had happened, there was space that, you know, you took your space. What's coming back together, if it is coming back together, it is showing that there's some passion here that is a connection force, okay? Now, if this is, you guys don't even know each other or you're just learning about each other, the feminine, this is kind of, as we're developing, the feminine is wanting to start something new. She's wanting to let herself be known. She's wanting to come back to the sweet nostalgia of childhood and that like first love, romance. Even this could be, you know, wanting to connect with someone who is a soulmate or feels really soulfully connected, someone who feels destined. So I'm feeling like that for the feminine. That's what she's really wanting. The masculine, here's your Ten of Pentacles. This is the family card. So you really want this as well. You're trying to transform and you're second guessing yourself, but you know ultimately that you want this family situation. So if this is a past relationship, you may try to work it out, okay? Let's see. We've got Five of Wands in the reverse and Seven of Cups, okay? So again, another 5 for the feminine, also in the reverse. So there's no struggle over here. She's really not wanting to fight. She's wanting to come out of any kind of resistance that she might have for her, you know, for starting anything new, for being in alignment, or reconciling. The masculine, here's with the Seven of Cups. The masculine's looking at his options. And these are emotional options. And this can sometimes be an illusion. So do be aware, masculines, that if you're still sorting things out, you may be looking at things in a way that's not actually true. So just be aware that, and I wouldn't say make a decision now, wait until April, because Mercury in retrograde is not the best time to say or make big changes, basically. This is a time for reflection. So I think you're looking at your options in how to make this family situation work out, how to get back into your power where you're actually moving forward, taking risks in the way that feels best for you, Leo, in the way, you know, so that you're in control. You are, that you feel best and in your power. We have the Hangman in reverse and the Page of Cups. Okay, Hangman reverse, coming out of stagnation. And the Hangman is someone who chose to put themselves in stagnation. So I think the feminine has pulled herself out and been looking at the situation, looking at her love life and deciding, and I think that now she's decided. She's not going to struggle. She's not going to fight anything. She wants the sweetness of childhood and the sweetness of of a soulmate connection, of a deep knowing and deep destined connection. She wants a passionate new beginning, and she's ready to move forward. I love this for the Leo feminine, ready to move forward. I feel like you have you've checked all the things off of your list, feminine, and now everything's moving. You're moving with it, okay? For the masculine, we've got this Page of Cups. This is a small offering of emotional connection. So if the masculine's been healing, I think he takes a chance and he starts to open up. And I think that's what's going to bring you two back together, is this little olive branch that he offers. So if you guys knew each other from the past, you had some distance, the masculine's been working it out, the feminine already is a little bit of ahead in terms of working it out, and she's ready to come back together because there's a connection that she feels is really strong here. The masculine is going to take a risk, even though he hasn't quite sorted all of this, and there's a small emotional offering that is made. If you two don't know each other, masculines, this is what you would be going through right now. You're healing from an old wound. You know that you want to have a strong family connection. You're weighing your options, and you're looking towards making this offer, this emotional offer, once you just get sorted, okay? Feminines, that's what your masculine is going through, and vice versa. And then for the feminines, you are really preparing yourself because you want to have that destined connection. So you are disarming. I love that word. You are disarming yourself so that you are ready to have that connection. Okay, cards. Now we're looking for just one card to bring these two back together. I'm feeling like there's a lot of craziness, and I don't want to take the wrong one, even though there's never a wrong card, as we say. Okay. For Leo, what is the finality? What is going to bring these two together? What's the common bond for Leo? Just one card, please. For Leo. Just one card, please. Thank you. Ah, okay. That's the stickiness. All right. So here we have Four of Wands. This is a good ending, guys. Good ending. All right. I wanted to make sure we got the good one. All right, so the Four of Wands is a strong foundation, okay? So we want to build a strong foundation. That's what's going to bond you, is when you two come together and you realize, yes, let's build this strong foundation together. This is, we look at this as the marriage card. We look at, fours are the strongest base because, that's, you can build anything on a level of four, the four corners. The Four of Wands is building, taking action from that strong foundation. So for the feminine, she's ready to take action. When you guys will meet your connection point, this is going to happen. This is a beautiful love. This is pretending a beautiful love. The masculine is going to have to be open emotionally in order for this to happen. He's going to have to release whatever this is that he's sorting out from the past. This not feeling in his power, this transformation that he's going through. He's going to have to really get past all of that. I feel like this is what's happening this month. But what I do love is that you two are looking at each other, despite that there were all those cards in between you. You're really trying to find each other. And that it does end up with this Four of Wands. It is in the upright, which means that the two of you are coming together to build something solid. It is something that, you both want to have as destined. There are cards here that are giving the opportunity for new love, new passion, putting down any kind of struggle that there was in the past, if it's been internal or between you two. And then there's also this, the soulmate card, the card of a deep connection that you might feel. It's also supported by this Judgment. This is a reconciliation card as well. So if I'm talking about a Leo connection, about reconciliation, it's looking pretty good. If we're talking about single Leos, once you go through your individual process, feminine, just put yourself out there and be open and ready to step forward with your masculine. And masculines, once you release through this last bit of this process and you're open to something emotionally, then your feminine's going to find you. And it's going to be something that's beautiful and destined and deep. This is some deep stuff, Leo. So that's what I have for you for this month. If it's resonating, let me know in the comments section. I'd love to hear from you. Hit that thumbs up button if you're liking it. That helps the channel out so much. Or subscribe, because I'm always doing all kinds of readings. And for now, I'm going to send you all my love.